What's good, my guys? Goes and what dot is your boy Blaze Mellow right back with another one. Yes, sir. And in today's live stream, we will talk about how you can how you can like determine the difference between mind and brain, because this is very important. But before we do anything, let me check my quality. Okay, sounds good, sounds good. I'm afraid I'm too loud 24/7. But I think we straight on that fact. Because your boy likes to talk loudly, man, and I think sometimes I talk too loudly. To the point I get noise complaints and shit like that, but it's not about noise complaints, it's about sounding nice on camera. I don't give a fuck about my environment right now, it's about sounding good for y'all, man, yes sir! So let me check myself before I do anything. Because I don't want to make a live stream with poor ass quality. Where's my channel at? There we go. Because I don't want to make a live stream with you. Okay, we straight. We straight as fuck, ladies and gentlemen. So let's just dive straight into it without further ado, man. Let's just dive straight into it, man. I just woke up from the most devious nap known to man. I just woke up from a sleep, which was like goddamn crazy. I shouldn't have slept, man, but that's all a different story, so don't mind me acting a little retarded right now. Your boy just woke up from the biggest nap possible, man. From the most devious nap on planet Earth, man. I hate taking naps. And today I proved myself why I don't like taking naps. But anyways, this right here is the main reason why people don't believe into spirituality. Why people don't go all the way when it comes to being in the state of building a functional mind and going all in with like esoteric shit, subconscious shit, astral world type shit, if you want to just call it in this cringe ass terminology. But this is the main reason why people are like stunted with their growth in spirituality and they don't go all the way with spirituality. Because they don't necessarily know the difference between mind and brain. They just think everything is some sort of materialistic aspect of life. AKA they just think, keyword, they think that everything derives from the brain, and at this time spirituality shit is useless. In the sense of, oh, why should I be into this? This is pseudo. There we go. This is pseudo. Oh, this ain't real, man. This shit is fake. This some lie that shit, man. Listen. The main reason why people don't believe into spirituality, why they think shit like this, shit like my whole channel is pseudo, is because they don't necessarily know the difference between mind and brain. And without too much talking, without being too much ahead of myself, the mind isn't necessarily a physical organ. The mind is not produced by the brain. There is no such thing as the brain producing a mind. It's the other way around. The mind produces the brain, but the brain is not producing the mind. That's a big difference, man. But without further ado, let's just dive into my main point, man. The mind is invisible and it's not the brain, man. This is my claim right here. This is my claim. So if anybody wants to debate later on when I leave the link, you're just welcome to do so. But without further ado, let me state my claim, man. Let me state my claim, man. The brain is just processing information. It's not creating it. Physically speaking, scientifically speaking, on some Steve Hawking type shit, on some logical out type shit, I'm so logical, I don't believe in anything type shit. Logically speaking, scientifically speaking, man, the brain is just receiving things. The brain is interpreting things. Meaning that the brain is second. It's interpreting an influence. It's a receiver, man. You just can't say, oh, my TV just emanated me being able to watch Cartoon Network. Your TV is receiving a signal. And the same thing applies to your brain. It's receiving several, people want to call it electromagnetic waves. But that's all nonsense. But the brain is receiving influence. It's not pushing out influence. It's an interpreter. That's a scientific fact, man. I'm not making shit up right now. The brain is a receiver, man. The brain isn't necessarily an organ. Not necessarily, it ain't. It ain't an organ which is producing thoughts. Because This is all science right here. This is not some spirituality type shit. Before we go far out, before we go beyond La La Land, before we go like in the astral world, before we just travel to see Michael Jackson swinging on some koala bear tree, before we do that shit, let's just talk some physical shit. Before we dive into the La La Land aspect, before we dive into the spiritual, metaphysical aspect, which loses a lot of people for this exact reason here, because y'all don't understand the difference between mind and brain, man. The brain is a receiver. The brain in and of itself is not producing anything, man. It's not producing any shit. It's not producing anything, man. It's just a piece of flesh made out of nerve cells. And it controls the movement of the body. Me doing this right here, me doing this right here, that's where the brain is handy in, where it comes handy in. This is what the brain is responsible for. Me coming up with the idea to make this gesture, and the brain executes movement. It's like your controller. If you like play video games, the brain is like your left stick, your analog stick, man. It is the executive organ for movement. It's just some sort of controlling mechanism which controls movement. And this is all science here. Melo's on some Google Scholar shit today, man. This is all science here. I'm not making this up, man. The brain is just a piece of organ which is made out of tissue, based off nerve cells. It's just a bundle of flesh made out of nerve cells. And it's interpreting signals which it's receiving from the outside world, aka it's interpreting influence, okay? And also the brain is responsible for just mere movement, for executing movement. Me doing this, me wanting to jerk off, boss, me just wanting to stretch my arm out. This is what the brain is responsible for. But the brain never will. I don't even know how people come to this conclusion that the brain is responsible for creating and emanating thoughts, man. It's not even a scientific fact, man. What the fuck? Like, who fooled you? Who's your ghostwriter? It's not even a scientific fact that the brain is here to produce thoughts. You can go on Google right now. You can ask ChatGPT right now. What's the brain responsible for? And it says the brain is just a piece of organ made out of nerve cells, nervous cells, to interpret signals from the outside world, and it is like controlling movement. But it's never necessarily the key component for creating thoughts. It's not the brain, man. But all my life, I've studied neuroscience. I don't believe it, man. That's on human. That's on fucking human. That's on human, you stupid ass human. Bars. God damn it, bars, man. That's on you, man. That's on you. Because people are too stubborn to admit that they, or the curriculums they are up under, are just utter bullshit, man. You just studied some hot takes from a Greek man. Philosophy and like atheism is just a hot take from a Greek man. Just Plato writing his hottest take down. Like, I don't know, man, Socrates writing his hottest take down. His most ass take down. This is what philosophy is in a nutshell, man. Some hot takes, some ass takes from a philosopher, man. And it isn't necessarily going any further than that. Because their brain, scientifically speaking, is once again, scientifically speaking, y'all love science, don't y'all? Y'all love, I don't know, man, atheism, don't y'all? Y'all love Steve Hawking, deterministic natures. Y'all love, I don't know, man, physical, the religion of physical bullshit, which is science. Y'all love that shit. And based on science definition of the brain, or like to be more accurate, the anatomical and the like physiological definition of the brain, it says that the brain is not able to create thoughts. And anything at the most is just a receiver. The brain is a receiver for thoughts. And it's just merely executing body movements. Like you doing this, you doing that, you doing this. This is what the brain is doing. And for the 10,000th time, this is Google knowledge right here. This is Google Scholar knowledge right here. You can go on Google and you can see that this shit is a basic definition. Y'all know these articles, these like Wikipedia blogs, when you just type in something, the first thing you see when you Google what's the brain responsible for is the shit I just broke down, man. Shout out to Mr. Mysterio and Kyrie, man. Kyrie said the brain is after the fact. Exactly. And this is exactly the side I'm on. The brain is after the fact because it's a receiver. It's second. First is an influence. Something being, no, I meant to say. First is an emanation, an expression, something you push out. And then there is receiving nature, okay? So receiving is always second. You don't receive first. You only receive something which already exists. Receiving in its nature is second. And Mystical Mysterio said philosophy back in the day, Twitter takes taken to find over exaggerated. Bro, I kid you not, man. I fucking kid you not, man. If these modern philosophers were right now in this time we're in right now, they would hop on Twitter and make some hot takes, man. But the thing is, their hot takes on Twitter are glorified by the government. Their hot takes on Twitter are glorified by the curriculum of school. Their hot takes on Twitter are, I don't know, made famous in universities. That's just a big difference, man. They ain't smart. They just picked and chosen. They're just chosen by the masses. It is what it is, man. Let me piggyback off my notes, man. But the brain is not creating what the mind is. The brain is not creating what the mind is. It's a mere receiver. Okay, this is the claim right here. This is the claim right here. So let's just dive into the proof. Let's just prove this claim furthermore, which is not necessarily a claim. It's just reality. It's not even a claim. It's just reality. But if you want to call it a claim, it's up to you. It's up to you. But anyways, you just can't refute this. And if you can, just click my link and we can talk. I'm open to be corrected. I'm not saying, oh, I'm the absolute man. My word is absolute man. You can come, click the link, and you can correct me if you want to, or if you can. If you can, not if you want to. If you can. God damn it. So yeah, one thing, the first argument which is in my favor, the first point to prove that the brain is made by the mind is that your mind can observe your brain. Let me ask you a question. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, bro. Let me tell you something, bro. Let me tell you something. How can you observe yourself if that thing you're observing is yourself? It's not even a thing. It's like you have eyes, but you cannot observe your own eyes because you know you possess some sort of eyes. So how can you observe yourself when you say, this is me? You couldn't observe yourself. You, right now, in the human body, you call this yourself. And this is a physical proof of what I'm saying right now. You cannot see yourself. You can never see yourself. So if you was your brain, if your brain was the end all and be all, how can you be aware of your brain? How does that work? How can you observe your brain if you yourself are not your brain? That doesn't even make any sense, man. Because if you was your brain, if the human experience wouldn't go any further than your brain, you wouldn't be aware of the fact that you can observe what the brain is doing, what the brain is necessarily like designed for. You can observe you raising your hand, which is controlled by your brain. You can observe you receiving influence, which is controlled by your brain. Once again, the brain is just responsible for receiving influences, interpreting influences, and executing bodily movements. But I'm aware of that. I'm aware of me being able to execute bodily movements. I'm aware of me being able to receive thoughts. So if I was my brain, how am I aware of that shit? How am I aware of me observing my brain? That doesn't even make any sense if I was my brain, because I would be stuck into it. I would be rooted into it. I would be like, monkey see, monkey do. I'm just receiving all day. You see, even me being able to say I'm just receiving all day is proof enough that I, as a spirit, and as like having a mind, I am able to go beyond what the brain is doing. Because if I wasn't able to go beyond what the brain is doing, I would just be here and do this all day. Remind yourself. The brain is not responsible for like creating something. It's just a receiver. So if I would be just a receiver, if I would just be bound to an organ which only can interpret it, I would sit here and just do this all day. Looking for things to interpret, looking for things to receive. But I can also express things. I can also be creative. I can also emanate things. I can also express things. You know what I'm saying? If I would just be my brain, I would be just retarded. It's just like looking into the air all day, waiting for something to receive. You know what? This actually makes a whole lot of sense, because human beings are wired to think that way. They're just waiting to receive 24/7. Do you know why? Because they're lost in their brain. They think their brain is the end all and be all, and this is why they're receiving all day. TikTok, yeah, entertainment, yeah, bitches, yeah. You see, They're even wired in characteristics to receive all day, because society and this dumb-ass rulership made you thinking that you are your brain. And if you think you are your brain, you act accordingly. You act up under those virtues and principles, which is just receiving 24/7. So of course everybody receives 24/7. What are you even saying? Why do people even say we have a consumer problem? Because people are receiving 24/7. People are lost in their brain 24/7. The brain isn't receptor. The brain, even physically speaking, biologically speaking, is built out of neurological receptors. So people are receiving all day because they're lost in their brain. But they're not bound to that. It's not their destiny and it's not their maximal capability, the maximum skill level to be in receiver all day. You can go beyond being in receiver all day, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure Mystical Mysterio and Kyrie are like beyond receiving all day because they just put out their message in the chat. You see, they are not bound to just watch my video and receive all day. They're not doing that. These dudes are pushing shit out, man. Everybody's pushing shit out. I'm pushing shit out. You know what I'm saying? This is proof number one. This is argument number one to tell you why you ain't your brain and why the mind is different than your brain. Kyrie said nepotism type shit. Exactly. Some dumb-ass Greek philosophy. Nepotism even comes from Greek philosophers. They push this agenda out, man. They push this agenda out, man. It's crazy, crazy. Next point. There is no physical organ which produces the mind. There is, let me repeat, a quick, short, but a very profound point. There is no physical organ which produces the mind. Even like in science, when they put you like up under those X-ray labels, those X-ray type of lenses, they cannot see where your thoughts are being emanated at. They cannot see how your brain is creating a thought. Because this is another thing. Your brain is not able to create a thought. And if it was, it would be a physical sensation. Because the brain is physical. It has mass, it has density, it has weight. Even though your brains are like empty as shit, even though in your brains it's just nothing but brain rods, your brain are like light as a feather. But besides y'all being restarted as a motherfucker, man, your brains are physical objects. And if this was the case, that this physical object is responsible for reproducing a thought, we could dive into your brain with some X-ray camera and we would be able to pinpoint where your thought is being produced at, where your thought is being emanated at, being expressed at, being created at. But no scientific as labor, no scientific place in the world is able to produce a camera or a technology which is able to see, oh, he's about to think this right here. Yo, bro, his brain is creating a thought right now. We can pinpoint it. Because you have to be very exquisite, and like Donald likes to say, you have to be exquisite with your mind. If you are exquisite enough to see that creating a thought, it takes time. Me creating a thought, it takes time. It might be like a split second, but it still takes time. I'm saying this to say that a thought being created, it takes time. And if your brain was responsible for your thought being created, if your brain was like the father of creating thought forms, we would able to see, physically speaking, how your thought is being produced live in actions, because we have cameras which are able to detect high velocity objects. We can see shit which is moving at like 1 millisecond or something. We are able to do that. But we can never see how the brain is producing a thought live in action, because this shit right here is not making any sense. The brain is physical, but how can a physical object create something which is not physical? That doesn't even make any sense, man. It's not making any sense whatsoever, man. Therefore, thoughts have to be physical, but my thought ain't physical. You cannot see my thought. You cannot weigh my thought. My thought is not having any mass. Any physical mass. This play card has physical mass. The definition of physics, right, is to have some sort of density, some sort of shape, some sort of dimension, some sort of depth. Yeah, know what's physical. But my thought is not physical. My thought is nowhere near alike with this card right here. So a brain cannot produce a thought because a thought is not physical. A thought is not able to be measured with physical means, okay? Keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. Keep that in mind. Kyrie said the fact that we're gonna use words to fight words, to narrow down the spirit is crazy. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, I'm suffering right now, bro. I'm suffering right now, man. Yeah, boy is suffering, man, because I have to be like in some sort of sin. I have to sin. Yeah, man, I have to sin. Sinning means missing the point, and I have to break down words for something which is not explainable with words. Yeah, boy is sinning right now. Yeah, boy is a demon right now. Yeah, boy is a demon right now. I'm tweaking as a motherfucker right now. I'm a demon right now because I have to use words for a faculty, for a dimension which is not able to be produced. No, I meant to say which is not able to be explained with words. Mysterio said science is lost into thinking, externalism, trying to understand the internal perspective. Right. And this is what I was saying, that a thought is not physical, and physical objects are like external, and you cannot interpret or like understand something internal with physical objects. It's not working that way. It's not going to work, man. It's not going to fucking work, man. It's not going to work, man. It's like trying to understand somebody who speaks Arabic, but you speak English. It's not going to work. You have to use the proper tools to understand the tools. You know what I'm saying? We have to use the proper tools, man, you know? Shout out to the Empress. The Empress, it can... There we go. That's why / how it can transcend flesh. Right! And this will be my next point. I will break the stone in like my next point. You just took away my point, man. You just stole my point, man. Hey. You just stole my goddamn point. Who do you think you are? Nah, I'm just kidding. Y'all can steal my points, man. Y'all can steal my points if you're able to look into the future, man. But this is actually the next point. Now this is the second next point. And shout out to Ole Lozovsky, you said bars. That guy from Demon Slayer who's talking a demon, but kills the demons though. Yes, sir. Yeah, I watched Demon Slayer. I know exactly what you're talking about. But you have to be a demon to kill other demons, man. You have to turn against your own kind type shit. Not saying that I'm a demon or something. Y'all know what I meant to say. Y'all know what I meant to say, man. Next, you can be influenced by something which ain't the brain. Another debunk that you cannot be your brain. Because how can you be influenced by something which is made out of a whole different material? That is the external environment. You can be influenced by your external environment, which is not a brain. So how can a brain be influenced by something which it ain't? Normally, you can only be influenced by something which is the same thing as you. That just means I can be influenced by another human because another human is similar to me. Because I'm a human as well. When I possess a human vessel, let's be more accurate. I can be influenced by another human because I'm human as well, for the lack of better words. But I cannot be influenced by a squirrel or like by a spider because a spider is not the same as me. You get it? And the same principle applies to the brain. The brain can be influenced by something which is not the brain. I don't know if you're restarted or something, people what I'm saying. I don't know if you're retarded. I don't know if you're restarted or something. But the external world is not a brain. Somebody being right next to me and saying, yo, bro, I like your outfit, is influencing me. But that influence is not the brain. Because it just ain't, man. What am I supposed to say, man? You can't be influenced by something which is not the brain. Theoretically speaking, you can only be influenced by something which is the same kind as you. So that shit doesn't even make any sense. You can be shaped and influenced by something which is beyond the brain. So that just shows you that you are beyond your brain. That your brain is not the end all and be all. You get it? I think you get it. I'm sweating like a motherfucker, man. I woke up from a devious ass nap, from a horrendous ass nap, man. And it made me fucking even more tired, man. I don't know, man. What the fuck was that nap all about? That nap was about some bullshit, man. The Hank Emperor said, same time, brother. Third eye, the mind, is actually a projector. Projector reception is from the 8th and 9th chakra. Right. Exactly true. It's like from an astral point of view. The 8th/9th house. AKA something which is beyond the surface, is below the horizon. The horizon is surface level, and your mind, not your mind, your brain. Your brain is surface level. It's a physical object. It's more like a materialization and a manifestation of the second house, because the second house produces material, and the 8th house, from an astral point of view, is what's producing material. Material is not produced by other material. Material is produced by the mind, that which is unseen, the ethos. A desire, a mind state, something from the ethos, an intention, is what's producing the second thought. It's not the other way around. It's not material creates another material, or like material breeds material. Fuck no. Material is always influenced and motivated by the mind, ladies and gentlemen. Why do I talk so much with my hands today? I don't know, man. I know, it's almost Virgo season. It's almost Virgo season. So Mercury in that season, man. You know what I'm saying? So Mercury in that shit, man. Throwing out some gang signs, man. You know what I'm saying? Hard shit, man. Man. Hard shit, man. What I was about to say, yeah, the flesh is always motivated by something which is not the flesh. That is the mind. Me making a live stream right now is influenced by my mind, something which is not the flesh. So my flesh is motivated by something which is not the flesh. You know what I'm saying? The same type of shit is just like the case with the brain and the mind. The brain is a receiver of what? The physical object. The brain is a receiver of what? The mind. The physical flesh is motivated by the non-physical. Okay? Where did I left off? Yeah. There we go. If the mind was created by the brain, you would see that it can't be changed by anything else. There's more to it than just the brain emitting a mind. Because as I was saying, the environment is not the brain. Like, I don't know if you're retarded or something, but me being in this room right here, this room is not a walking, talking brain. This X right here is not a walking, talking brain. And I can be influenced by it. Oh, what the fuck? There was like some spider on this X. See, I just got influenced by something which ain't the brain. And that's the spider being on some sort of eggs, being some sort of material. I can be influenced by something which is beyond my brain. If I was my brain, how could I be aware of this? This wouldn't even bother me, because this is a whole different material than my brain. I would just be, oh. Can I tell you guys a secret? I'm terrified of spiders. So how can a spider, which is not inhabiting the same brain as I have, even influence me? It's not making any sense, man. I don't know who fooled y'all. I don't know which Greek ghostwriter taught y'all about some nonsense. I don't know which deterministic, materialistic, atheistic book you was reading back in high school, which you based your whole identity off. But that shit is not making any sense whatsoever, man. It's not making any sense at all, man. I cannot make it make sense, man. You have to make it make sense, because I cannot make it make sense, man. I just can't, man. I just goddamn can't, man. Yeah, boy, can't, man. Yeah, boy, cannot, man. I cannot, man. I just can't. I just goddamn it can't, man. And I need to vent real quick. You need to hear some Leo venting shit. You need to hear Leo venting right now. How on planet Earth is somebody who's goddammit lost in their mind? How on planet Earth is somebody who makes the most retarded ass statements famous and I'm not? It breaks my heart every single day, man. I kid you not, man, and I'm dead serious about it. It breaks my heart every single day, man. I'm self-taught, man, and I'm not fucking restarted. Yeah, I know what I meant to say. I'm not fucking retarded. I'm not fucking restarted. But somebody who is restarted, somebody with a whole different wrong starting point is famous, and your boy ain't. Your boy has 5 viewers. Your boy has no motion. What the fuck? Man, I got no motion for being real, and Plato got a whole lot of motion for being fake as fuck. What the fuck? Nah, man, what the fuck? I swear to goodness, it's breaking my heart how the world is like based on sympathy or not actual talent, not actual intelligence. Because I'm actually intelligent. I said I'm actually intelligent. What the fuck? I'm actually intelligent. I'm actually aware. I'm actually sharp in my mind. But I get no motion from this. I get no bitches from this. What the fuck? Holy fucking smokes, man. I don't know, man. I don't fucking know, man. This is just fucking restarted. It's just fucking restarted, man. Yeah, just restarted and your boy is sad about. Because I can get no motion. I can get no money off this, man. Let's just dive to the next point. One of my last points. Yeah, I know what's crazy. What I was saying is crazy, but this right here is also crazy. Things like intuition. Once again, we're getting scientific. We're getting physical right here. I'm not making any hoo-ha, Michael Jackson, koala bear, la la land statements. I'm being physical right now. I'm being like Googled up right now. I'm being Wikipedia up right now. This is a valid scientific research, a valid scientific proof. Something which is fucking real in the world of science, aka something which is real in the world of y'all idols for scientists. Y'all know what's crazy? Things like creativity, intuition, and certain forms of thinking can't be seen and measured by neurological sensations. Shouldn't that ring a bell right here? Shouldn't this make you aware of something? Certain parts of the brain, certain parts of your level of thinking, like intuition, creativity, gut feelings, empathy, and like other subtle and more empathetic emotions and perceptions, they cannot be measured by the brain. Somebody who's in a state of intuition, somebody who's in a state of creativity, and they're like plugged up with this goofy ass helmet, which is like made for measuring your brain waves. Somebody who's creative right now, somebody who's sketching out something, somebody who's sketching out like, I don't know, anything. Somebody who's basically creative, and he's plugged up on the brain wiring as helmet, which is like produced to pick up your brain frequencies. Somebody like that is not being able to be detected. I meant to, I worded that horribly. Somebody who's in a state of creativity, his brain waves can't be measured. Somebody in a state of intuition, his brain waves cannot be measured. So is he brain dead at that moment? Is his brain not working at that moment? Explain yourselves. Explain your fucking selves, man. If I'm in a state of intuition right now, if somebody was recording my brain while I'm sketching out something, while I make music, while I'm writing poetry or something, that person is not able to measure my brain activity. That person is not being able to measure my neurological activities. I kid you not, man. This is a scientific fact, man. Shit like intuition, creativity, imagination, and so on and so forth, fantasy, is not able to be detected by a scientific lab. It's not able to be detected by some sort of X-ray scan, which is like focused on the brain. This should tell you that this dimension, and this is actually real, this is actual science right here. This is actual physical science right here. I made mad research. I was a Google scholar creating my script. I had a goddamn headache because I read so many articles about the brain making my script. This is goddamn real, man. Your brain cannot be detected. The activity of your brain cannot be detected once you're in a state of creativity, once you're in a state of intuition, once you're in a state of Pisces and activities, to make it simple, to just talk about it in astro terms. You know what's crazy? This should tell you that things beyond you are working, which ain't necessarily off this brain. Intuition is apparently not off this brain. They say, but you have a hemisphere of the brain which is responsible for intuition. If that was the case, that hemisphere would be activated and you would be able to scan the neurological pathways while somebody is creating something based on intuition, creativity. But this is not the case. The quote-unquote hemisphere which is responsible for intuition is not activated and is not being able to be measured once you're actually using that shit. This should tell you that this is not making any sense whatsoever, ladies and gentlemen. It's not making any sense whatsoever. It just fucking ain't, man. It's just not making any sense whatsoever. It's not making any sense, man. Ever since I was a baby, ever since I was a little kid, ever since I was like a fetus, since I was like 11 years old, I could not wrap my head around the fact that I'm a brain because it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Shout out to Famous Marlo. Restarted, yes, sir, Mysterio. Fucking restarted, man. Y'all restarted. Ole said, for real. I mean, I can for sure include Dolo or Piscina at least as a source to my thesis work. But Uni gonna say it's not valid because it's not in the book. That they are valid. That they are valid by Masons. Yeah, Richard, because what's respectable is what's getting a lot of attention. And real shit is not getting any attention, man. I'm saying this 24/7. I'm crying about this 24/7. You can be real as fuck, man. You can be intelligent as a motherfucker, but you don't gain any attention from it. You don't gain any credibility from it. You could be groundbreaking when it comes to making a new discovery about the spirit and the mind. But if you're not having a doctor title, if you don't have a PhD, if you don't have a bachelor degree, if you don't have your master degrees, nobody's going to respect you, man. They're like, oh, what you mean? Where's your source? Where's your validation? Where's your status? Where's your, I don't know, man, consideration from professors? It's a rap, man. It's a rap like Saran, man. It's a goddamn rap in this world, man. You can spit the most real shit ever, but somebody would say, but Google ain't saying this. And I use 90% of my arguments from Google to make sure you cannot refute me. I just Googled my script today. I'm sitting once again. I Googled my script, man. Like 50% is Google material, and the other 50% is debunking that Google material. I don't know how to help you, man. The Hanged Empress said creativity, it's in the house of yin. It doesn't exist in the yang. Right. My point exactly. My point exactly. And thank you. That's like a beautiful way to describe it. My point exactly. Yang. Or if you want to be pseudo, if you want to be, I don't know, materialistic out. The external flesh, aka your brain, which is external flesh, is outside of you, technically speaking, because it's flesh. That shit is not able to detect what's inside of you. The Hanged Empress debunked that in one sentence, man. Couldn't have done it any better, man. Couldn't have done it any better, man. Shout you out. Kyrie said, yeah, that they rely on names titles to even be seen as credible. Right. Also my point exactly. Yeah, guys are on my frequency, man. I know I could count on you, man. Yeah, smart, man. Yeah, smart. I know my viewers are smart, man. I know my watchers are smart, man. Yeah, sharp as fuck, man. Everybody in here is smarter than Plato, man. Everybody in here is smarter than any Greek philosopher, man. Yeah, you can be sure about that. And I'm not making you feel good. Based on the things you're saying, based on the shit you're kicking, you're smarter than any Greek philosopher, man. You're smarter than any atheist who's studying, I don't know, man, his curriculum based on Googlepedia, man. On Wikipedia, I said Googlepedia, man. They have a Google Scholar bachelors. They have a Google Scholar degrees. But Google says it ain't the case. But Google said it's not like that. God damn it, man. God damn. I cannot help you. I cannot help you. I cannot help you, and I don't want to help you. I don't want to help you. I just want to talk about what I want to talk about, and that happened to be spirituality. I can kick myself. What happens if I kick? No, we're not testing that out. Well, what the fuck is this right here? What the fuck? StreamYard has so many options. Yo, I can make a logo. What the fuck? Before I do anything stupid, I want to change my color. Do you have my favorite color red? Pink is also cool. Yeah, I'm pink. I got that pink. Yes, sir. But it's fucking amazing. I'm pink. I'm pink as fuck today. I'm pink as fuck today. My name is Pink right now. This is crazy, man. StreamYard is cool. I can even change. Whoa, I never noticed. What the fuck? No, that's ugly as fuck. Let's just stick into this. Now we look good, man. Now we look good, man. Yeah, no, I'm a Leo. I like to play around with creative aesthetics. Anyways, to come to a conclusion. The mind is not physical. So what is the mind? Hold on, I need to chew my candy. Goddamn sticky ass candy. Pause. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is the conclusion right here. What is the mind? The mind is not physical, right? We just debunked that shit. If you missed that, go rewind, man. Go rewind, man. The mind is not physical. Because of the brain. What the fuck? Spider. The mind is not producing the brain. And the brain is not producing the mind. We just debunked that shit. So what is the mind? Invisible. It's not of this world. The mind mimics the spirit. The mind is not rooted to a physical object. It just fucking ain't. Because no organ is responsible for creating my mind. And another thing. Oh, this is going to be a knockout argument. They always like to say, but if you have dementia, if you have Alzheimer's, what if you have Alzheimer's? What if you have dementia? You will use your personality. You can no longer use your mind. First of all, you can't use your brain if you have Alzheimer's. Because you're still able to generate thoughts once you have Alzheimer's. No matter how retarded you are. No matter if you're like, oh, who the fuck are you? And it's your grandchild. Oh, who the fuck are you? And it's your mama. No matter how retarded you are. I meant to say, no matter how restarted you are. While having your dementia. While having your mental diarrhea. While having your dementia. You're still able to generate thoughts That quality is never losing. And your brain could be tuned down to pieces. Your brain could be destroyed into pieces because dementia is destroying the brain to the utmost core. Dementia is rotting your brain to the highest degree, man. It's like brain rot, but physically. This is what brain rot is, dementia. Dementia is destroying your brain, but you're still able to be aware of that. Guess what? You're still able to be aware that your brain is being destroyed. You're still aware that you don't know who that is, and that's your grandson. You're still able to be aware of, I don't know, you liking, I don't know, what could you forget? You're still aware of you not recognizing yourself anymore. You still are aware of that, you know what I'm saying? So, the brain is not the end all and be all, even if you have dementia. You're still able to use your mind. Because they conflict, your brain being the end all and be all, you know what I'm saying? That's fucking crazy, but what do y'all say? Pink on the master, yeah, you know the drill, man. Pink on the master, man, you know the drill, man. Pink is like Scorpio. It's more like Libra, but like dark purple is more like Scorpio. And Sagittarius. Light Pisces blue colors make the reddish a little pink. Exactly, lighting it up, man. You're just lighting it up, it's like making the color lighter. The mind is metaphysical. My point exactly. This is the side I'm on. The mind's metaphysical. But motherfuckers will try to Google and debunk and say, we don't know. Man, they just don't know, man. I know you don't know, man. Go on Google, you don't know. You don't know. I know, man. Go on Google, man. Go on Google. And my next live stream will be about how we glorify people who ain't contributing shit to society. We glorify people who like up to nothing. We glorify philosophers with like a shit ton of statements, but those statements weren't like making any tribute to your enlightenment. We worship people which don't help us. But that's on my next stream. LMAO, brain rot, Lemo. Yeah, brain rot. I kid you not, man. This is literally brain rot because when you have dementia, your brain is rotting in the most physical sense. Also, the fact that people use only like 70% of their mind. Also, it's like, what the fuck? How is that counted? No, you see, this is also one thing. How do you know what 100% of your mind even is if you don't know the correct starting point? You don't know the correct starting point, that mind and brain are separate. You might call me a dualist for saying that, but fuck it. Mind and brain are separate. So how can you even be aware of the fact that you only use a certain level of percentage level if you don't even understand what the fuck everything is all about? Brain is for memory and receiving, right? Goddamn, that's fucking right. So yeah, the mind is magical. It's not of this world, because where is your mind? Where is your mind? Where is your mind? I know a lot of people lost their mind, but where is your mind located? Nowhere. Your mind is not located in your body. Your mind is just using the bodily organs as a vessel. We talk about it in a second. Your mind is not of this world because it's nowhere in this world. My mind is no physical organ which is inside of me. It's not in this world, therefore. It's not physical. And only physical things can be in this world as far as like being seen. Therefore, my mind ain't from this world, you know? Is not of this world. Period. Yes, sir. The mind is magical. This is where your hopes, dreams, desires, and sense of identity even lies. Somewhere which is not of this world. And this is magical to understand. This is beautiful to understand, man. Because you are not of this world. Every human being is initially beyond this world. But they don't recognize that potential. You know what I'm saying? They are beyond this world because the mind is not of this world. Damn, did I cut off? No, I don't think I cut off. Did I? No, I'm back. But yeah, man, the mind is fucking magical. This is where your sense of self lies. This is where your sense of identity lies. It's not of this world. It's not of this world, you know what I'm saying? And this is fucking beautiful to understand, man. Also, my last point, the mind is the thing which incarnated the brain. The mind produced the brain, okay? Not the other way around. The mind produced the brain into this world. Without a physical brain, you can't experience the mind. The brain is like a vessel for the mind. You can use all your organs as a vessel for your mind. But your brain is a vessel for this mind, okay? There's a big difference. It's a part of its body. It's its body. Yes, this is an open panel. I will leave the link in the description soon enough. Shout out to Famous Marlo. You said, got to share this live to my mother. She works with Alzheimer's and dementia patients all day. And when she crashed in a wreck not long ago, the doctor told her she has a short-term memory loss. Damn. But I appreciate you for sharing my life with her. I really appreciate that. And this is like really my targeted audience. The people you're talking about. Those people really need to watch. I'm not necessarily saying they need to watch me 24/7, but they need to be like invested into these type of topics, especially people like your mama who like working with Alzheimer patients, because this is a very key moment to your journey as like a spirit. Because once you know you are beyond this brain, you have nothing to worry about. You know that you are eternal, that you have a mind which is able to like override anything. You can just accelerate your limits beyond this physical body. And I think people like your mama are like also way smarter than Google scholars, because she is hand in hand in contact with Alzheimer patients. She knows what Alzheimer's all about. And if she can watch this video, she has like an extra piece of perspective which she can see on a day-to-day basis. She has like confirmations every day, because I've never seen somebody with Alzheimer's in my life physically, but she does. Yes, sir. I appreciate you, bro. Really appreciate that. Using 100% of the brain sounds like some sci-fi movie, man. What if we use 100% of our brain? They act like you will be flying or something, you will levitate or something. Shout out to Arda, man. Shout out to Otman. Shout out to Arda. I told her only if you believe in your mind, something is wrong with you. That's where it manifests, right? Because the mind is some sort of vague cloud. If you believe it, it will happen. It's like a very vague mechanism. It's a lie. It's like Neptune. Whatever you believe comes to be true. Arda said brain works with body, mind works with soul. Right. Beautiful way to put it. Beautiful way to put it. She's still aware of her mind and infinite. Right. That's exactly also what I was saying. Ole said, and even different languages have different words for mind and brain, which is already separate to them. And in German, it's Geist. Like, damn, that alone means ghost. Yeah, the German word for mind means ghost. It's translated ghost, Geist. Literally, your mind is being called ghost, but German is like kind of long thought, because they say your spirit also is ghost. They have like the same word for spirit and mind. They both call it Geist, which means ghost. Well, actually, no, they both call it ghost. There's a like different word. There's like a specification. They call your rational mind. Everybody, I need you to understand something too. Everybody, not necessarily you, like everybody. I'm not saying you need to understand this. I think y'all guys know this, but people who don't know. Anytime somebody is referring, especially some sort of atheist who likes spirituality, anytime somebody is referring to the mind, they think about logic. And logic is just the most primitive, most unripe, most childish, most undeveloped hemisphere of your brain. It's actually logic. Because this is what the reptilian brain is. What do you think we call logical people reptilians? Because lizards have the same logical pattern of the brain which we have. I kid you not, man. They call it the lizard brain, logic, which is responsible for your intellect and like logical attributes. Because it's just the same as the lizards. That's why they call it lizard brain. So this fun is fuck, man. Anytime somebody's referring to their mind, they're pointing towards logic, aka to the utmost primitive part of their mind, man. Yeah, goddamn retarded. Yeah, goddamn retarded, man. And this is a separate word for mind in German. They call it Verstand, which means something like conscience. Not conscience is untranslatable. You cannot translate it. You cannot translate it. With that being said, where's my link at? Where's my link at? But guys, I'm not going to be here for too long because it's late as fuck, man. It's late as fuck, man. I just took a devious ass nap, man. I dreamed something crazy, but I forgot my dream. Yeah. Man, what the fuck? Please let me type some. There we go. What the fuck? Oh, I can do that shit. Nice. That's crazy. That's crazy. Man, goddamn paste this goddamn link, man. This biggest tablet is driving me crazy. There we go. If you want, you can join. If you don't, that's fine too. It's up to you. You don't have to join. You can also listen and just type. You guys are appreciated for watching anyways. You don't have to join, man. You can if you want to, but don't feel pressure to join my life. I don't want to pressure anybody. You know what I'm saying? But y'all guys are already worth it. Man, sometimes I break down common sense, which shouldn't be broken down. This should be like normal, man. Why do I have to talk about normal as things, man? We have a guest. Mysterio. Yes, sir.
Yo.
Peace.
Oh, hold up. For some reason, it won't let me like get my AirPods.
God damn it. Technology acting funny today. Goddamn Mercury retrograde.
I didn't even realize until 2 years ago, me being into spirituality that long, that the mind and the brain were like two different things. I was
Bro,
like,
same.
damn.
Same. I
I
kid
was
you
like,
not. I'm gonna be real. I even understood it much more better. I understood it in a much more better sense after making this video. After I went on Google and see what people have to talk about, because it's a very keen and subtle difference. Not necessarily subtle and keen, but it's like made prominent to think that you are your brain. It's like normal. It's like what everybody has been raised for. You know what I'm saying? This is why if you dive into spirituality, you automatically have this pre-constructed thought in your mind, even subconsciously, into thinking, I am the brain, because this is what's normal in this world. This is what everybody has been teaching. I am the brain. And when somebody says mind, you think, oh, okay, my brain. But in actuality, this is not your brain. It's just made normal, okay? It's just made fucking normal, man. And this is where everybody falls short at.
right. And it was interesting because it's like, damn, how am I able to do all this like crazy shit and these circumstances happening, right? So I thought it was like my spirit, but no, whole time it's really my mind, and then the spirit, then the spirit, but like really the spirit first, but like my mind was like orchestrating the 3D. You get what I'm saying?
Right. And also one thing about like the spirit and the mind. I just wanted to to make clear the difference between mind and brain, because this is what everybody's lost at. And mind and spirit is a little bit too complex for people. It's a little bit like too far for retarded as people, because they still think, oh, I'm a brain. I can be here saying, oh, you are your spirit, by just skipping a layer. First, you have to break down what your mind is and how your mind is necessarily different from your brain. But the difference between mind and spirit is much more simple. Your spirit is just your observer. It's just nothing. You cannot necessarily be too wrong about nothing. The spirit is what's observing the mind, not also Mason and shit right here. But the spirit is what's observing the mind. It's the environment. The mind is like dancing in. It's like the producer. The mind is like a thing which is dancing in the environment of the spirit, and the spirit is just observing it. The neutral quality of observation. But the difference between mind and brain is much more complex, because this is where everybody is like lost at. Everybody's lost into thinking, oh, my brain, oh, Plato told me this, Plato told me I'm my thought, Plato told me I'm my urges. Therefore, they're like conflated and conflicted into thinking I'm my brain. And the difference between spirit and mind is very simple. It's a very simple step.
It's almost kind of depressing how like some of these sciences be depressing. Like, damn, motherfuckers say they
Right.
the brain. Like, bro, what y'all say? And then y'all don't believe in like no God, no. It's not that like believing in the God, but I'm saying like y'all don't believe no external, like not even external. Y'all don't believe no reincarnation, no nothing. Like, damn, being an atheist must really be the.
I kid you not, man. I kid you not, man. And you was actually spot on, because this is taking your belief away from God. Because God is just all possibilities. And those atheists make you very limited. So, in a sense, they are like convincing you that you don't believe in God. It's actually true what you said. Subconsciously, you was absolutely right, man. Because, like an atheist, their life must be limited as fuck, man. They must be depressing as fuck. I don't know about them. But if I dive into the POV or after death, that's just it. It's just a completely nothing. I would be miserable as a motherfucker, man. I would be like unmotivated to do anything.
That's
I
what
would
I'm
be
saying.
afraid of death.
That's what I'm
Crazy.
saying. It's like it's a weird case, because it's like, damn, it's gonna put you in this. What I'm doing this all for, like it's all for
Yeah.
nothing, like suicidal space. But then you realize you've been super left brain. Now you're super right brain. You're literally
You just,
nothing.
I kid you not, man. And that shift is like a lot to handle for a lot of people, because if they dive into spirituality, like atheistic and like materialistic people are lost into their logic, and if they come across spirituality, it's like somebody is dragging them by force into a different space, somebody is pushing them by force into the polar opposite, and that shit is extremely hard to handle. Imagine you do, I don't know, you're writing with your right hand all the time all your life, and somebody is forcing you to write with your left hand. Of course you're acting retarded, of course you're not going to be able to manage it. And this is just the failure of the human brain, the failure of the human, no pun intended, the failure of the human mind. Because they are just comfortable with using one part of intelligence. And if they're exposed to a different part of intelligence, they're weak. It's like working out your bicep 24/7, and if it's time to like work out your tricep, you're going to be weak. This is like the thing with atheistic people if they come across spiritual journeys.
Right. And another thing I do notice is that like atheist people, like how do I put this? Fuck.
Oh,
Yeah,
fucking retarded.
I do notice that like,
Fucking retarded.
right. I do know that like atheist people, like when they come across somebody right brain, it's like they kind of want to prove them wrong, or it's like a self projection of like, okay, it's like two type of atheists I met. Like there was an atheist of like, okay, they just didn't believe in religion. There was like, yeah, I can kind of see you out, and then there's that one dickhead that wants to prove anything right brain wrong. Like, oh shit, you cutting out.
God, you're giving me flashbacks, man. You're giving me PTSD.
You said I'm
Am I
giving you
good now?
PTSD.
Flashbacks of retarded as motherfuckers, man. Because those, can you still hear me, right?
Yeah, I
Can you hear me?
but you're glitching out. Yeah.
Am I in and out? Let me know if I'm like cool. My connection is like all fucked up right now. Am I good now?
Nah. Oh, you kind of good. You kind of good. It's getting better.
Alright.
It's getting better.
So I'm saying, you give me PTSD because this is like a whole lot of people I've encountered. I've met so many people who are just on that spectrum of trying to debunk everybody. I'm just trying to like get into a logical argument with right brain people, and not necessarily right brain people, as in we have a bias. And spiritual people and balanced people, because they themselves made an ego out of atheism. It's not that they believe everything is like derived from the brain. They just made an ego out of like atheism, and atheism is just like the go-to thing for people who ain't religious. For some strange reason, you either are religious and mentally ill, or you're just like atheistic and mentally ill. It's like no in between. It's like right twigs and left twigs. If you don't like twigs, I go to Snickers. But there's nothing in between, man. And those people, they're not here to have a logical argument. They just here to debunk you. Because deep down, they want you to prove them right, I notice. If they talk to you. If they talk to you in like... Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Like, there's an atheist that wants you to prove them wrong, and then there's an atheist that just runs around a dickhead just, hey, you're wrong because of this, that, and the third science I found. But I even said on Dolo's video, I noticed how these are the type of people that would argue all day back and forth for science, but don't create their own science to prove anybody wrong with. Ain't that something? Like,
thanks, man. Thanks, though. And the even funnier thing is, it's not working. Whatever they're into is not working. They're still having the same personal problems. They're still broke as fuck. They're still uncreative as fuck. They still suffer from certain mental illnesses, which we all do, but it's like a percentage level. What they're doing is not even working, man. So why are you invested into something which A, is not giving you a clear answer, because atheists also say, oh, we don't know. And two, why are you into that bullshit if your life is going to be worse, if you're into that doctrine? Like, what's the point, man? You're not getting any revelation and insight on what's actually real, and you're also not like upgrading your quality of life. You're not making your life more limitless. It's like a loss situation. You're like taking several L's while being an atheist, man. It's no wins, no gain. You're taking all the L's, man, and on every way possible. It's crazy.
Right. And then, I notice how people that are quote unquote dumb in school be the motherfuckers that be the most.
Oh hell no!
So like what you said about logic, it's like, okay, they IQ test, like there's kind of flaws now that I think about it, because it's like, okay, you could be hella left brain, but what's the point of taking an IQ test and go broke tomorrow? Like,
One thing with like IQ tests. People who have like a high IQ, 150 or 700, some bullshit like that, some super saiyan measurement. People who have like a high IQ are like cringe as fuck. Have you ever met somebody with like a high ass IQ, like 150 and plus, who's not lame? They're always lame. They're like autistic, and not to make fun of people. They're like always autistic, socially awkward. They got no friends. They got no hobbies. All they do is just calculate some math shit. Cosine, sinus, Pythagorean theorem, some shit like that, man. But they're not. They are up unto nothing. Those high IQ people lack character the most, man.
Yo, that's why I said like that's why when Dolo came save the day, bro, when he said the three intelligence are fuck, eating, and sleeping, you know, bro, I was like, finally somebody said it. I couldn't say it in words. I can't say it in words.
Thanks.
Like, somebody had to say it, because like, bro, like dudes be hella logical and quote unquote smart, but be retards at the same time. And that's what I kind of
you not, man. And to piggyback off like the eat, fucking, and sleeping hierarchy, those motherfuckers have no fucking quality at all. They get no bitches. Those logical ass motherfuckers get no bitches at all, man. They're like nerds. Nobody's attracted to a nerd. And also their eating quality, like the heart chakra, is also all fucked up. Because if you're too much into your left brain, you're just drying out your emotions. It's like being too dry. Somebody who's logical 24/7, like the smart kid in school who's just a nerd or something. They're like too dry. You can be friends with them. You can hop on the video game session with them. You can enjoy a PlayStation party with them because they're fucking dry, man. So I don't understand why they are saying those people are intelligent. In my mind, intelligence is like having relatability skills, having some sort of likability, some sort of, for the lack of better words, some sort of charisma. This is intelligence, not who I've studied Plato all my life. I've graduated from high school with a good ass GPA. It's not intelligent, man.
It's like in reverse, right? I would see as intelligence as like, but basically Dolo was saying survivability, because if you were just some smart nerd, that's not survivability tactics. You know what I'm saying? Survivability tactics is, I know this is root chakra stuff, but survivability tactics is like getting with somebody else and coming with a conclusion so y'all could build something. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, and survivability, it's like everything is in reverse. The root chakra is the most deepest, because a simple shit like that is like the most intelligent stuff. If you want to look at it from like the Eastern philosophy chakra type of the spiritual way, they say like your crown chakra is all the way here, the highest chakra. It's like a doctrine where they say you need to raise your energy to get to the highest chakra, aka you need to raise your energy to be in some sort of logical structure. But that shit is fucking retarded. Being too logical 24/7 is not doing you no good. It's like being surface level. And yo, bro, speak your piece. Somebody's calling me right now. I'll be right back.
Yeah, exactly. This is why I was spitting the thing I was spitting, because when you're too logical, I experienced that too. It's adding density to the ground, and you're gonna get lost lost into externalism, and you're gonna pinpoint a little too much. Well, not pinpoint. You're gonna get a little too lost into the external, or what you can see with your outward lens. And that's why I said survivability is like the most intelligence, because, you know, nobody gives that credit. Like, we still in survival mode because we in the human body, but people give credit for some philosophy that don't make nobody no money, don't make nobody get nobody no bitches, don't get nobody help nobody's physical or mental problems. It's like useless philosophy has become like gloated for no reason. Like, useless philosophy is the downfall of humanity. And aka, I'm gonna make a video on this, but I said complexity is the failure of the human mind. Not in the sense of
Right.
not in the sense
Because
of
this is what's can you hear me? I think I'm cutting in and out once again.
I
Am I good?
can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, this is what I was saying. This is exactly what I was saying. Complexity is the failure of the human mind. That's a good way to put it. Because if you make something too complex, you don't understand it. It's like being in like algebra class in high school. Oh, I'm getting caught once again. What the fuck? Oh my god. Speak your piece. I'll be right back.
Yeah, complexity is for sure the failure of the human mind, because we're in a day and age where we have time to think, but what are we even thinking about? It's like we're thinking too deep and too hard about bullshit and over exaggerating. But really, we could think deep and hard about how we can create something new, you know? And that's like where the failure of the human mind and brain goes. If we think too much and too deep about some BS, it turns into mental illness. You seeing Jesus Christ in the sky or something. Animals don't wonder about that, So what if you saw Jesus Christ in the sky? You still broke,
Yeah, this is what I was telling, man. And this is my next live stream. I will talk about this in my next live stream. You're saying things, but they're not leading you anywhere. You're just stuttering doctrines. You're stuttering philosophies, atheism, materialism, but what can you do with that bullshit? It's not practical. It's fucking retarded, man. You cannot do shit with it. You cannot do anything with it. Okay, everything derived from the brain. Now what? Now what?
Bro, but I was literally watching like UFC and MMA and martial artists, bro. These dudes are not like, okay, they're good, but like these dudes are not even that smart, and they're smarter than some of these. And like these dudes are mentally ill. They smarter than some of these people on here, because at least when you got something like martial arts, that's like that in the back in the day, that was like that was a fighting tactic to defend yourself. Yeah. And like, bro, it's amazing, because like the people that get called stupid would be the smart ones, and the dudes who be smart is really the stupid ones.
Everything is in reverse, and I think that's a great way to like make it a roundabout, because my phone is about to die. And one thing, me and Mysterio, we have a live stream coming up tomorrow. Stay tuned for that, man. We have a live stream coming up tomorrow. You still down for that?
Yeah, I'm still down for it. I'm
yes, sir. Yes, sir. But, we will have a live stream tomorrow. It's going to be dope, but it's not on my channel. It's on Mysterio's channel. So Mysterio, if you want, drop your channel so everybody can watch.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know if I could go live, but because I still
you need to have like 50 subscribers. That's like the requirement. You need to have 50 subscribers.
Yeah, I can't go live, but I'm
gonna see. We can make a pre-recorded video. We can just make a stream out and just chop it up like that.
Okay. Bet.
But yes, sir.
I'm a peace out. You feel me?
Yo.
And also, y'all don't get in all these like freaking lost. Oh, I'm not good at math or this, that, and the third.
Right. This is just indoctrination.
Yeah, like, bro, like the real intelligence is survivability, and if you could survive, the better you could survive. And listen to Dolo, like the 3 intelligence, fucking and sleeping. You pretty much more intelligent than everyone, Like
exactly.
You got to do what you got to do. Like math won't help you. What you doing? A couple of math problems. It's all it's gonna do is stroke your ego and say, "Oh, I'm smart."
You just get you only get validation. This is all it boils down to. You only get validation, nothing more, nothing less. It's just validation.
Right. But yeah, I'm gonna head out. You feel me? But yeah,
good peace out, bro. See you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Peace out, bro. Salute. Yes, sir. And I think that shall be it for today. I have like 7% left. My phone's about to die. Somebody needs me, man. I'm like Batman in my real life, man. I'm needed as fuck in my real life, but it also is like crowded. It's like limiting as fuck, man. Motherfuckers need me, man. And it's crazy. I guess this is what happens if you're like spiritually responsible. But anyways, this shall be it for today. Shout out to Lana. Shout you out, man. Shout out to Lana. With that being said, your boy's going to head out. I'll take a shower and eat some and just shit. Yeah. I don't have any closure, so I just end this live stream. Peace out, y'all. Appreciate you guys for watching and see you guys tomorrow not tomorrow, but in my next video. With that being said, boy is going to head out. Goodbye, y'all.